Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, the Jeffrey Epstein saga continues, and both Trump and his Republican minions are trying to give voters what they want, while at the same time giving them a big middle finger and basically saying, like, I mean, what are you going to do? So, you don't like our response? Like, what are you going to do about it? Right? They're daring MAGA to actually take action. So sorry, I'm checking my mic because it keeps having issues. But anyway, some MAGA influencers, they are already falling in line. They're already licking Trump's boots again, ignoring what the vast majority of their audience wants. And we now have definitive proof that there is something in those Epstein files, which I'll explain in a minute. I also have polling about this whole thing, and it's very bad news for Trump and his congressional enablers. And I have a very interesting, or some interesting screenshots of a Trump friendly news outlet changing the title of a story that they published about Epstein's his convicted accomplice, I should say. I was going to say conviction. His convicted accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. So stay tuned to the end for all of that and more. But before I dive in, please do me a big favor. Hit the subscribe button below this video. It is free for you. It really helps the show. So here's the latest in Epstein Gate. The press asked Trump if he was told that his name appeared in the Epstein files, and he didn't really give a definitive answer. I mean, he kind of did, sort of, but not really. So here's what he had to say. And I want you, as I play this, I want you guys to pay close attention to Caroline Leavitt's face. Watch her expressions as Trump's speaking and how she's studying him. This, to me, as you're going to see, this is the face of a woman who just realized he's lying. And now she's going, he's probably been lying to me about everything. So take a look at this. It's pretty telling.
She's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well.
Yeah. So, running interference for Pam Bondi again. And again, he blames previous presidents. Oh, it's Obama, it's Biden, it's, they made this all up, as if he wasn't president before Biden, right? He and his base seem to forget that. And here's the thing. First of all, they said there are no files. Yeah, there's no list and nothing to see here. There's nothing that you guys need to know about. But oh yeah, if there is a list, if there are files with any incriminating information, this was all made up by Biden and by Obama and blah. Really? Why did they make it up and then not release it? I mean, if you're going to fabricate evidence against someone, wouldn't you try to get it out to the public? Like, why would you sit on that? Right? And think about when Obama was president last. 2016? You're telling me all these years later, 9 years later, Obama still hasn't done anything with it? Why would he go to the trouble of creating files and fictitious information about Trump and not use it in the 2016 election, in the 2020 election, or in the 2024 election? No, we made all this stuff up and then we just locked it in a vault. And here's the thing, with the whole Bondi thing, how he's running interference for her. He doesn't really have any other choice. I was thinking the other day and I mentioned this on the show, he was going to use her as a scapegoat. And then I thought about it and I was like, no, because he now knows if he throws Bondi under the Trump train and he makes her take the fall for what is obviously his call, obviously what he wants, she now knows too much. And she can use that information either for her own protection or for her own gain. So I would not be surprised if if this woman isn't already disgustingly wealthy, she's going to be coming into some money over the next, I don't know how many years. I just have a feeling. Keep an eye out for that. Bookmark that one. And if I was Pam Bondi, I would definitely be watching my back right about now. You know, I mean, you got Ghislaine Maxwell locked up. You've got Jeffrey Epstein dead. You've got Virginia Giuffre dead. I mean, stay away from windows and high buildings, Bondi. And check out what she said months ago on Fox News. Take a look at this one. I mean, this just shows you, like, she was all in on this, and then she did a complete 180. So check this out.
Wondering, because you said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk, is when can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have, well over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information, but it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay, well,
along with his co-defendant.
Absolutely, and he had help. That's for sure.
He sure did.
Yeah, so had help. So she went from, we're going to release Epstein stuff tomorrow, and boy, he sure did have a lot of help, right? Including his co-defendant, to nothing, no client list, case closed, all done. We're off the case. Nothing to see here. And did you catch the part where Jesse Waters said to her, Epstein's home or his homes, I should say, were wired with recording devices, and then Bondi did not refute that fact. She didn't correct him. She didn't say, well, Jesse, actually there weren't any videos from those cameras, or, we ended up finding that there weren't any cameras. She did not correct that whatsoever. Now, all of a sudden, she's claiming the only videos that Epstein had were from what he downloaded off the internet. And it's not even that they think we're all stupid or that Trump's base is stupid. It's that they know there is not a damn thing that any of us can do about this. They have the evidence and they can hide it, or they can use it for blackmail. They can destroy it. They can do whatever they want. Our only recourse is to vote for people who are pushing to get to the bottom of this. Now, unfortunately, with a few exceptions, we don't know who's sincere here. We don't know who's just using this moment to score political points and who actually really believes that justice needs to be done here. And speaking of which, Democratic Progressive House member Ro Khanna, he introduced an amendment, and this was to push for the release of all of the Epstein files. So the way it goes, for those maybe in other countries who don't know, it has to first make it out of committee. So they have to vote on it in a committee, and then it would move to the full House to the full House. And then they would bring it to the floor, or the speaker would bring it to the floor for a full House vote. So here's how that went. Take a look at this video, because again, very telling.
Committee make and order amendment number 50 to H.R. 3633 offered by Representative Khanna, which would require the Attorney General to preserve and release any records related to Jeffrey Epstein.
Questions on the amendment? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. The amendment's not
Madam
agreed
Chair, I'm
to.
kind of shocked by that. I will ask for a roll call.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Fishbach? No. Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Norman? Yes. Mr. Norman, aye. Mr. Roy? Mrs. Houchin? Mrs. Houchin, no. Mr. Langworthy? Mr. Langworthy, no. Mr. Scott? Mr. Scott, no. Mr. Griffith? Mr. Griffith, no. Mr. Jack?
No.
Mr. Jack, no. Mr. McGovern?
Aye.
Mr. McGovern, aye. Ms. Scanlon? Ms. Scanlon, aye. Mr. Neguse? Yes. Mr. Neguse, aye. Ms. Ledger-Fernandez? Ms. Ledger-Fernandez, aye. Madam Chair?
No.
Madam Chair, no. 5 yeas, 7 nays.
So there you go. Only one Republican, Ralph Norman, he's from South Carolina, he voted along with the Democrats to release these files. And to her credit, which you guys know, I am loath to ever give such a vile person as Marjorie Taylor Greene credit. But to her credit, Marjorie Taylor Greene also introduced an amendment. She introduced it in a different committee. And once again, Republicans voted it down. So she went on Steve Bannon's show. She was complaining about this. She told Bannon, quote, "The same Republicans that voted against the Epstein amendment to release the information are the same Republicans on the Rules Committee that voted against allowing my amendment to have a vote on the House floor to stop munitions being sent to Ukraine." And then CNN also stopped Greene in the hallway at the Capitol, and they asked her how big the MAGA blowback was on this topic. And she conceded that it's, quote, pretty big. And I want you guys all to hear the audience's reaction. So this is more video from last weekend. Dave Smith was a panelist at the Turning Point USA event. I mentioned to you guys this went on last weekend. This is young people. For anyone who missed that video and who doesn't know, Turning Point USA was started by Charlie Kirk. This is all about creating like a MAGA youth movement. And so these are a young audience. These are the people who helped to put Donald Trump over the edge and helped to hand him the White House last November. This is what Democrats should be doing, but honestly, they're too out of touch, they're too cringe to incite the Utes. So anyway, check out this video right here.
Donald Trump in this last election. Yes, he did just actively cover up a giant child rapist ring, and I'm going to criticize him for that, okay? And I'm sorry, after all these years of us right-wingers saying, protect the children, come on, that's bad for your soul if you don't. You speak up about that. It's horrible what he's doing. And yes, have I been critical of Donald Trump when I think he gets things wrong? Yeah. I mean, I think that's what we should do. This is America. You criticize the government when they get things wrong.
Could not agree more. So a couple of things. I'm sure I would not agree with a lot of what Dave Smith thinks or what he wants from the government because he's a libertarian, but I deeply respect his honesty and his willingness to call out Trump. And did you hear the audience? They completely agree with him. So these other MAGA influencers really need to watch their step because they may keep Trump happy. They may be pandering to a small sliver of people who just want to keep the peace or not give any, anything to the libs to hold on to and laugh at, but they risk alienating a great deal of their audience and losing all credibility. And here's my question. How many of these people, not like the influencers, but also them, but the base, how many of them are either going to sit out the midterms or secretly vote for a Democratic candidate? Because so many of them are disgusted by this. And, how many of these people, as I was just alluding to, are furious over this whole thing, but they still want to, quote unquote, own the libs, and they refuse to give Democrats the satisfaction of speaking out publicly, questioning Trump publicly. I have a feeling it's a substantial number. And then check this out. So yesterday on Twitter, people were sharing this. This is a Daily Mail. So this is what people were sharing yesterday on Twitter. As you can see, the title says, Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell is ready to reveal the truth about the pedophile client list, say insiders. End. Right? If you look at it, if you look at the screen here, it was written, it was published, I should say, on July 13th, but then it was updated on July 15th. Well, look at this one. This one, after it says, say insiders, it says, so why are Republicans blocking her? So this one was published, the original one was published July 13th, and this was the original article. So it said, why are Republicans blocking her? So on the 15th, they edited it and took that part out and made it this. Ended it with, say insiders, ... And if you guys didn't know, the Daily Mail, they're Trump pumpers. They are a Trump-friendly right-wing publication. So, I'm thinking somebody picked up the phone and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you mentioning the Republicans? Pretty telling, right? I mean, so pathetic. And here's the thing. People are like, oh, Ghislaine Maxwell wants to speak. Democrats should get her into Congress and have her speak. First of all, do you really think she'll make it there? Like, I'm sorry, but if she said, I want to speak before Congress, two things. I don't think she would make it there alive. I think all of a sudden we'd have another suicide, quote unquote. Second of all, the woman wants a pardon. She has been in prison for years now. She wants out. She was a golden spoon born up her ass, privileged little asshole whose father was ungodly rich. She is not used to this. She has always had everything she's ever wanted. She has always lived the good life. And now she is living in prison. So this woman wants out in the worst way. She has petitioned the government over and over again. She has appealed her case over and over again. Do you really think that she is going to go in there and tell the truth? This is a child predator. This is a woman who lied for Jeffrey Epstein, who lied for the most prolific known pedophile in the world, who recruited young girls and brought them to him, served them up on a platter to him. Do you honestly think that we're going to get the truth out of this woman? And right now, she's doing a little calculation in her head. She's like, the heat's being turned up on Trump. Trump is really twisting in the wind right now. Trump is really taking the heat from both the Democrats and even his own base for the first time, even on Kool-Aid Central, even over on Truth Social. So she's doing a little calculation and going, maybe I should throw it out there that I want to speak before Congress. And then maybe Trump will get so nervous that he'll decide to give me a pardon because, what do you know? We looked at the evidence, and just like we told you guys, there was nothing there. It was all fabricated by the Democrats. It was all a big conspiracy started by Obama and the Clintons and Biden. And so, you know what? We have new information. Ghislaine Maxwell is innocent and we're going to let her go. I'm going to give her a pardon. That's what's going on right now. And if that goes down, I'm telling you, I will lose my freaking mind. And I have a feeling a good chunk of MAGA will too. So, yeah. But, do not trust this woman at all. Not at all. I would not trust a word out of her freaking mouth. She could have done the right thing. And it has come out in documents that she was never even offered a pardon, which tells you they didn't want her to speak. Because you offer a pardon in exchange for something. You offer a pardon in exchange for giving up the goods on the people who were your co-conspirators, or the people who you were working for, or, you know, somebody, a bigger fish. They never offered her a pardon because they didn't want her to speak. They wanted her in prison where they could shut her up, where they could control her and hang over her head the threat of, you know what happened to your buddy Epstein, right? Yeah, maybe you should keep quiet. So don't be surprised, guys. Do not be surprised if all of a sudden she goes, oh, yeah, I'm not going to speak to Congress. And then Trump goes, yeah, you know what? I think she's innocent. You know, everything Pam Bondi has found points to her innocence. Because he was thinking about it before. I mentioned that the other day. And his aides, everybody around him, warned him that it would be a really monumentally bad move. So he didn't do it. All right, guys, I'll let you know when I have more, because there will be more. And oh yeah, and I do have another really juicy video today, so go check that one out. It's all about a meltdown that Trump is having over this whole thing and how he completely insulted his base, called them stupid, told them, you know, I don't need your support, I don't need your help. So be sure to check that one out. It's very good. I have a bunch of different posts from his supporters just losing their shit. They are, again, on Kool-Aid Central, on, you know, crackhead Kool-Aid Central, Truth Social, or as he calls it, Tross Central. So anyway, guys, check that out. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.